It was my daughter Claire's 45th birthday, and I got to her house early with the cake I'd ordered from her favorite bakery. It cost $200, but for my only child, no price was ever too high. I knocked on her door with a big smile, expecting her face to light up like it used to when she was a little girl. But when she opened the door, her face showed nothing but annoyance. "Oh, it's you," she muttered, not even looking me in the eye. "Happy birthday, my love," I said softly, holding out the cake with candles already placed. "It's your favorite, chocolate with strawberries, just like when you were a kid." Claire sighed deeply, as if my presence was some huge burden. "Mom, we need to talk," she said in a dry tone, letting me inside without even thanking me for the cake. We sat in the living room of her beautiful house, the same house I had fully paid for when she married Mark. It had cost me $50,000, money I'd saved penny by penny from 40 years of double shifts as a nurse. "You know, Mom," Claire began coldly, "I've been thinking a lot about my birthday, about gifts, and what would truly make me happy." I smiled, eager to please her. "Of course, sweetheart. Tell me what you want, a trip, some jewelry, maybe that new car you mentioned." But then she looked me straight in the eyes, and what I saw made my blood run cold. Her gaze was full of disgust. "The one thing I'd love most as a birthday gift," she said slowly, "is for you to just die." The world stopped. I felt like someone had ripped my heart out. My daughter, my only child, had just wished me dead. "What? What did you just say?" I whispered, my voice trembling as tears filled my eyes. "You heard me," she said sharply. "I'm tired of you, Mom. Tired of your calls, your surprise visits, and your constant presence. My life would be so much easier if you'd just disappear." My hands started shaking uncontrollably. 72 years of life, 45 years of motherhood, and I never thought I'd hear something so cruel. "Claire," I said through sobs, "I'm your mother. I've given you everything. I've sacrificed everything for you." "Exactly," she snapped, standing up. "And that's the problem. You're smothering me. I can't breathe with you always around. I need freedom. I need you to let me live my life without your emotional drama." I still held the $200 cake in my trembling hands. The candles were melting. Everything I had imagined, hugs, laughter, a family dinner, vanished in an instant. "But honey," I tried again softly, "I just want to be close to you. You're all I have." "And that's exactly the problem," she shot back, folding her arms. "I'm all you have. Go find your own life and leave me alone." I stood up slowly, my legs weak, clutching the cake that now felt like a cruel joke. "I can't believe you're saying this after everything I've done for you." "Everything you've done?" she scoffed with a bitter laugh. "Mom, everything you did was for yourself. To feel needed, to control my life. But I'm not a little girl anymore." I walked toward the door, feeling like every step aged me. At the doorway, I turned one last time, hoping to see even a trace of regret in her eyes. A flicker of the sweet child I once knew. But there was nothing. Just impatience, waiting for me to leave so she could celebrate in peace. "Happy birthday, Claire," I whispered. Then I stepped out and closed the door behind me. I didn't know it then, but that would be the last time I ever walked into that house as her mother. The woman who had given up everything for her. Because that day, my daughter woke something inside me that had been sleeping for years. I returned to my small apartment on trembling legs and a broken heart. The $200 cake ended up in the trash, its melted candles looking like my tears that wouldn't stop falling. I sat on my old sofa, the same one where I had nursed Claire as a baby, read her bedtime stories, and cried tears of joy every time she called me Mom. How did I end up here? How could my own child, the baby I carried for 9 months, wish for my death with such coldness? Memories came flooding back. Every single thing I'd done for her over the past 45 years. When she was 3 and caught pneumonia, I worked triple shifts to pay for her $1,200 medicine that insurance didn't cover. I even sold my late mother's jewelry to afford it. When she turned 16 and wanted to go to prom, I worked weekends for 4 months to buy her that pink dress worth $800. I still remember how her eyes sparkled when she tried it on. "Thank you, Mom. You're the best," she said, hugging me tight. In college, when she changed her major 3 times, I paid for everything, $42,000 total, taking out a second mortgage on my house. Don't worry, honey. I'd always say, your education is what matters. When she married Mark, I paid for the entire wedding, $35,000, the best ballroom, the most beautiful flowers, the finest menu. I want my princess to have everything, I said proudly as I signed check after check. And then came the house, the same house where she had just humiliated me. When Claire and Mark wanted to buy their first home, I didn't even hesitate. Don't worry about the down payment, I told them. I'll handle it. That was $150,000 from my retirement savings. It didn't stop there. When the twins were born 5 years ago, I became their unpaid babysitter. Every night they went out, every time they needed help, I was there, never charging a cent. When Mark lost his job last year, who paid the mortgage for 8 months? Me. $16,000 from my pension, which meant eating rice and beans for weeks just to survive. When the twins needed braces, I paid another $4,000 without thinking twice. That's what grandparents are for, I told them. I stood up and went to my desk where I kept all my receipts. Boxes full of proof of everything I had spent on my daughter and her family. Not because I ever doubted them, but because those papers made me proud. Proud of how much love I'd given. I started calculating. Raising Claire, $200,000. College, $42,000. Wedding, $35. House down payment, $150,000. Mortgage help, $16,000. Braces, $4,000. Gifts over the years, at least $10,000. In total, more than $460,000, almost $500,000, poured into my daughter's happiness. And all I got in return was her wish for me to die. Tears fell onto the papers as I realized that if I had put that money in savings with interest, I'd now have over $600,000. I could have been living in comfort, traveling the world, enjoying my old age, not sitting alone, counting pennies in this tiny apartment. But no, I had invested in love. I believed that every dollar spent on my daughter was worth it because I'd have her love in return. How foolish I was. I picked up the phone and dialed her number. I needed to hear her voice again, to know if she truly meant what she said. "What do you want now, Mom?" she answered, irritated. "Claire, I just need to know, did you really mean those words today?" I asked, my voice trembling. "Of course I did," she replied coldly. "Mom, it's time you understood. Your obsession with me isn't healthy." "Obsession?" I repeated, stunned. "You call a mother's love obsession?" "Yes, exactly," she said firmly. "And I hope now you finally get it. Respect my boundaries and let me live my life." I hung up the phone without a word. There was no misunderstanding. She truly saw me as a burden. That night, I couldn't sleep. I stared at the ceiling, replaying every hug, every, "I love you, Mom." Had it all been fake? Or had I simply raised someone so selfish she could no longer see beyond herself? By 3 a.m, something shifted inside me. My sadness started to turn into something else. Anger, strength, clarity. I finally understood. I had been used, manipulated, and tossed aside. My daughter wanted me dead. Well, maybe it was time to give her exactly what she asked for. The next morning, I woke up with a strange calmness, a mental clarity I hadn't felt in years. The sadness was gone, replaced by determination. If my daughter wanted me out of her life, then I would go, but not the way she expected. I dressed in my best clothes and left the house with a clear plan. First stop, the bank. I had a joint account with Claire for her house emergencies. I'd opened it just in case and put $20,000 in it for unexpected problems. "Good morning, Mrs. Hartman." The manager, Mr. Martinez, greeted me. He'd known me for years. "How can I help you today?" "I want to close joint account number 45872891. I said with a smile. It looked friendly, but it was really a smile of payback. "Are you sure? That account has $20,000, he warned, checking his screen. "I'm sure." "Please transfer all the money to my personal account," I said, signing the papers with a steady hand. Seeing that $20,000 move back to my account gave me a satisfaction I hadn't felt in years. And this was only the beginning. Next stop, the mortgage office. Last year, When Mark was unemployed, I co-signed their mortgage. If they couldn't pay, I was responsible. But that also gave me rights to the property. Mrs. Hartman, said the loan officer, Ms. Price. What brings you here? I want to review the mortgage where I'm listed as co-signer, I explained. I need to know exactly what my rights and duties are. While she looked for the file, I remembered the day I signed those papers. Claire had cried with joy. Thank you, Mom. I don't know what we'd do without you. You're our savior, she'd said, hugging me tight. Mark thanked me too, promising they'd never miss a payment. Here are the documents, Ms. Price said, placing a thick folder in front of me. As a co-signer, you're responsible if the primary borrowers can't pay. But you also can claim the property if you believe they won't meet their obligations. Exactly, I said, going through the pages. Is there a problem with payments? She asked, concerned. I'm evaluating the situation, I replied, slipping copies of everything into my bag. What would I need to do if I decide to use my rights as co-signer? You'd need to show risk of default or significant delays. In your case, I see you covered 8 months of payments last year. That's already strong proof of financial instability. Perfect, I said. Mark had lost his job again just last week, something Claire had told me without thinking what it meant. She thought she was hinting for help. Really, she gave me the tools for my revenge. I left smiling. My dear daughter had no idea what was coming. Third stop, my lawyer. My attorney, Mr. Harold Bennett, is 70 and was a friend of my late husband's. He knew my whole family history and had watched me sacrifice for Claire for decades. Rosemary, he greeted warmly. What brings you in? It's not common to see you here. Harold, I need your help with something important, I said, sitting down. I want to change my will completely. His eyebrows shot up. Did something happen with Claire? I told him everything, every cruel word, every cold look, how she wished me dead on her birthday. He listened quietly, growing more serious as I spoke. Rosemary, he said at last, I'm so sorry. I never thought Claire could do this after all you've done. Me neither, I sighed. But I've decided. I want to leave everything to a charity. And I want a trust fund for my grandchildren, but Claire can't touch it until they turn 25. That can be done, he nodded, taking notes. Do you also want to change your life insurance beneficiaries? Of course. Anything with Claire's name, I want it changed. My daughter wants me dead, but when I do die, she won't get a cent. We spent 2 hours going through everything. My $100,000 life insurance, my savings, my apartment, my investments. Everything that once had Claire's name would now go to the Orphans Foundation, where I've volunteered for years. There's one more thing, I said near the end. I want paperwork ready to reclaim the house where Claire lives. I'm the co-signer and Mark just lost his job again. Harold's eyes lit with understanding. I see where you're going. Are you sure you want to go this far? Completely, I said, surprising even myself with how firm I felt. She said life would be easier if I disappeared. Fine, I'll disappear. But first she'll learn exactly what life is like without me and without everything I've done. When I left Harold's office, it was already dark. I walked through my neighborhood feeling new, like I'd woken from a long sleep. For 45 years, I lived for Claire. I gave up my own dreams to give her everything. Not anymore. Back home, I poured myself a glass of wine, something I hadn't done in years. Toasting to myself felt strange, but incredibly freeing. Then I dialed a number I'd saved months ago. A travel agency for retirees that helps people live abroad. Good evening. This is Rosemary Hartman, I said when they answered. I saw your offer about living in Switzerland. Could you send me full information? Of course, Mrs. Hartman, the agent replied. Switzerland is very popular. We have short stays and paths to permanent residency. What would you like to know? Everything, I said without hesitation. How can a 72-year-old start a new life in Switzerland? After hanging up, I stood at the window, looking at the city where I'd spent my whole life. Soon it would be just a memory. My daughter wanted me to disappear as her birthday gift. And I would grant that wish in the most spectacular way. What she didn't know was that her wish was about to become her worst nightmare. The next few days were a mix of emotions and secret plans. Every morning I woke with pain and determination, and both pushed me forward. It felt like I'd finally woken up from years of living only to please my daughter. Now, I was living for myself. On Wednesday morning, my phone rang. It was Claire. For a second, my heart raced. Maybe she'd changed her mind. Maybe she'd apologize. How naive of me. "Mom," she said in that cold voice she uses now. "I need a favor." No hello, no how are you. Just straight to the point, like I'm her assistant. "What do you need?" I asked, curious how bold she'd be. "The twins have a school presentation on Friday, and Mark and I have an important work dinner. Can you watch them that night?" The irony was delicious. The same woman who wished me dead now wanted me to babysit like nothing happened. As if I'm available 24/7. "I can't," I said simply. "What do you mean you can't?" she asked, genuinely shocked. She wasn't used to hearing no from me. "I have other plans," I lied with a smile she couldn't see. "What plans could you possibly have?" she asked in a condescending tone, like a 72-year-old can't have a life. "Plans that are none of your business," I said calmly. "Find another sitter." "But Mom, I can't find one on such short notice. And since when do you charge to watch your own grandkids?" There it was, the same emotional manipulation she'd used for years. "Not this time. Since you told me your best birthday gift would be for me to die," I answered coolly. "You want me to disappear? I'm starting now." Silence. Then a sarcastic laugh. "Seriously? You're going to punish me like a child?" she said. "I thought the drama would be over by now." "It's not drama, Claire. It's respecting your wish. You wanted me gone, so I'm going." "Fine," she snapped. "Be childish. But don't come crying later when you're lonely." She hung up. Perfect. Every conversation proved I was doing the right thing. That afternoon I went back to the bank to do something I never thought I would. Withdraw most of my savings in cash. I took out $30,000, put it in an envelope, and locked it in my safe, the money for my new life in Switzerland. I called the travel agency and confirmed my trip, a flight to Zurich next Tuesday, with the option to stay longer. The initial cost was $5,000. I paid it without blinking. It was the smartest money I'd spent in years. Thursday morning, I got an unexpected visit from my neighbor, Margaret. She's 68 and lives next door. We've been friends for 5 years. "Rosemary," she said, sipping coffee in my living room. "You seem different. What happened?" She'd seen my sacrifices firsthand, the canceled plans, the expensive groceries I took to Claire while I ate canned soup to save. I told her everything. The awful birthday scene and the plans I'd made. "My God, Rosemary," she whispered, eyes wet. "I can't believe Claire said that after all you've done." "The worst part is she said it like it was nothing," I said. "Like I was a problem to remove." "And you're really going to Switzerland?" "Yes," I said firmly. "Ticket bought. I leave Tuesday." She took my hands. "You have my full support. What Claire did is unforgivable." "There's more," I said quietly. "I need your help with something important." I explained my full plan. I wanted Claire to believe I was truly gone. At least for a while. Margaret would be my ally, the one to find my empty apartment and the goodbye letter. "It's brilliant," she said with a playful smile. "That ungrateful child will finally learn what it means to lose you." "Will you help me?" "Of course. Honestly, I think it's exactly what Claire needs." That night, I wrote the most important letter of my life. The letter Claire would find that would change everything. I wrote and rewrote it, choosing every word carefully. "My dear Claire," it began. "You asked me as a birthday gift to disappear from your life. I've decided to grant your wish. When you read this, I will be far away, starting the life I should have lived years ago instead of giving it all up for you." I kept writing for hours. Every penny I'd spent, every sacrifice, every mischance because I was always available. But it wasn't a bitter letter. It was a lesson. I wanted her to understand what she had lost. "Along with this letter, you'll find all the legal documents I signed this week," I continued. "The change to my will, the cancellation of your health insurance that I paid for, the notice that, as co-signer on your mortgage, I've decided to exercise my rights due to Mark's job instability, and the end of all financial help I gave you. It ended up 23 pages long, detailing everything that would change now that I had disappeared. Just like she wanted. Your life will be much easier without me, I finished. But it will also be much more expensive. I hope it's worth it. Friday night, while I packed 2 suitcases, Claire called. I didn't answer. She called 3 more times. I let it ring. I had nothing left to say. Saturday, Mark showed up at my door looking exhausted. Rosemary, he pleaded. Claire told me what happened. I know she was wrong, but please don't do this to our family. Do what? I asked, playing innocent. Stop helping us. Just step away like this. The kids need you. We need you. How interesting. When Claire wanted me gone, I was a nuisance. Now that the help was ending, suddenly they needed me. Mark, I said calmly. Your wife was very clear. My presence is a burden. I'm only respecting her wishes. But you know how she is when she's mad. She didn't mean it. Oh really? Because she sounded very sure when she said her birthday wish was my death. He lowered his head. There was nothing he could say to fix it. Please, he tried again. Let me fix this. I'll talk to her. I'll make her see. It's too late, I said, slowly closing the door. Give my grandchildren a kiss for me. Sunday was my last day in that city. I walked by all the places that shaped my life. The hospital where I worked 40 years. The park where I took Claire as a child. The church where I married her father. A quiet goodbye to a life lived for others. Monday would be the start of a life for me. That night, I couldn't sleep. Not from fear, but from a feeling I hadn't had in decades, excitement. At 72, I was finally about to live the life I'd always wanted but never dared to try. Monday, 5 a.m., Margaret knocked as planned. She brought fresh coffee and a knowing smile. Ready for your great escape? She winked. More than ready, I said, carrying my 2 suitcases to the door. Do you have the spare keys? Here, she said, holding up the set I'd given her. And I've got the letter for Claire and all the legal documents you're leaving on her table. We had planned it perfectly. She would wait until Wednesday to go to Claire's apartment and deliver the documents, pretending she found my apartment empty and got worried. She would be the one to tell Claire I was gone for good. Remember, I said as we called a cab. You have to look very worried. Tell her I didn't answer for 2 days. You knocked and I didn't respond, and when you used the emergency keys, you found the apartment empty and the letter on the table. Don't worry, Rosemary, she grinned. I taught drama for 30 years. This will be the performance of my life. The cab arrived at 6 a.m. I took one last look at my apartment of 15 years and felt no sadness. It was like walking out of a prison I'd built for myself. To the airport? The driver asked. To the airport, I said, and those 2 words felt like the beginning of my new life. On the 40-minute ride, I thought about what I was leaving, my volunteer work, my routines, and the constant worry about Claire. Then I thought about what I was gaining, freedom to choose, to spend my money on me, to live without the weight of my daughter's demands. At the airport, while I waited, Claire called 3 times. I didn't answer. Then a text. Mom, you're being ridiculous. The kids are asking about you. Call me. I deleted it. Funny how, once I wasn't available 24/7, suddenly I was needed. The flight to Zurich was long but peaceful. For the first time in years, no one knew where I was. No one could ask me for favors, money, or time. That freedom felt intoxicating. During the 12-hour flight, I wrote in my journal. Every detail, every feeling, every choice from the past week. I wanted to remember what it felt like to free myself from a toxic relationship. Even if that relationship was with my own daughter. I landed in Zurich on Tuesday night. A travel agency rep waited for me with a sign bearing my name. He was a kind young man named Klaus who spoke perfect English. Mrs. Hartmann, he smiled. Welcome to Switzerland. Ready for a new adventure? More than ready, I said, and for the first time in weeks my smile was real. Klaus took me to a lovely furnished apartment in central Zurich, rented for a month while I decided if I'd stay. It was small but cozy, with windows over a pretty park and a partial lake view. Here's everything about the city, Klaus said, handing me a thick folder. Places to eat, activities for your age group, German classes, social clubs. I also scheduled a meeting with a financial advisor tomorrow to help with residency paperwork if you decide to stay. That night, I slept better than I had in years. No ringing phone, no one needing anything, no responsibilities except taking care of myself. Wednesday morning, I explored the city. I had breakfast at a cafe by the lake. I bought fresh flowers for the apartment. And for the first time in decades, I spent money on something unnecessary, a beautiful $100 silk scarf, just because I liked it, without worrying whether that money should go to my daughter. As I walked through Zurich, I mentally added what I'd spent on Claire in just the last 5 years. Mortgage help when Mark was unemployed, the twins' braces, constant gifts, gas for babysitting runs, groceries I brought over. At least $50,000. Money I could have used to travel, live comfortably, and chase old dreams. Instead, I gave it to a daughter who saw my love as a burden and my presence as a nuisance. At 2 p.m. Zurich time, about 8 a.m. back home, I figured Margaret would be on her way to Claire's with the letter that would change everything. I sat on a bench by the lake and waited. I knew my phone would start ringing soon. At 5 p.m. it vibrated. Claire. I let it ring out. It rang again, Claire. This time I answered. Mom, she cried, voice breaking. Where are you? Margaret came with a letter. She said you disappeared. What's going on? Hello, Claire. I said calmly, watching the lake. Did you read the letter? Yes, I read it. Are you crazy? How could you do this to us? Where are you? I'm exactly where I need to be, I said. Far from you, just like you wanted. I didn't want this, she said quickly. I didn't want you to actually leave. I was just angry. I didn't mean it. There it was, minimizing the harm, trying to make me feel guilty for reacting to her cruelty. You didn't mean it when you said your greatest birthday wish was for me to die? I asked, because you sounded very sure. I was frustrated. Mark lost his job again. The kids are acting up at school. I'm stressed. I shouldn't have taken it out on you. You're right, you shouldn't have. But it's done, and words can't be taken back. But Mom, please come back. We need you. I need you. How interesting. Now she needed me. After reading she'd lose my money, maybe her house, her health insurance, and free childcare. Do you need me, or do you need my money? I asked plainly. Silence. I need you, she finally said, but it didn't sound convincing. Claire, for 45 years I lived for you. I gave up my dreams, my money, my time, my chances. When I finally needed to feel loved and valued, you said you'd rather I was dead. Those words broke my heart in a way I can't fix. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm so sorry. Sorry isn't enough. The damage is done. And maybe it's the best thing you ever said to me, because it opened my eyes. I've been living wrong. What do you mean? I mean that for the first time in decades I'm living for me and it feels wonderful. Where are you, Mom? Please tell me, she begged through tears. The kids are asking for their grandma. They don't understand why you haven't come. Funny how my absence was suddenly noticed. All those years of canceled plans, expensive gifts, park trips while she went shopping, expected. Now that I'm gone, I'm missed. The kids will be fine, I said, looking at the Swiss mountains. They're resilient. What they'll learn is that actions have consequences, and hurtful words can destroy relationships. But Mom, you can't just disappear. What if something happens to you? What if you get sick? How will we know? How convenient. Now she worried about me. Claire, in the last 5 years, I had 3 dangerous blood pressure episodes that sent me to the hospital. Do you know how many times you visited me? None. You always had something more important. That's not true, she said weakly. It is. The first time, I called you from the ER, you had a Philip appointment. The second time was Mark's birthday. You were celebrating. The third time, you didn't even pick up. Her silence told me she remembered every moment. I thought it wasn't serious, she murmured. Of course. My health never mattered, but my checks did. It's not about the money, she yelled. It's about you. I miss you, Mom. Do you miss me, or do you miss having someone available 24/7 to fix your problems? I hung up without waiting for an answer. The phone rang again, and I turned it off completely. I wanted peace for my first night of freedom. So I went out alone to a fancy restaurant by the lake. I ordered the most expensive meal, salmon with caviar for $80, and finished a whole bottle of French wine. I hadn't treated myself like that in years, because I was always thinking the money might be needed for Claire. The next day, Thursday, I turned on my phone and saw 47 missed calls and 23 texts, all from Claire and Mark. The messages went from begging to threats. "Please, Mom, pick up. We're worried," the first said. "If you don't answer, we'll call the police," said another. Then, "We already called. They can't do anything because you left a letter explaining you left." Later, the bank called. "You canceled the joint account. How will we cover emergencies?" It was amazing how fast their worry about me turned into panic about money. I replied to just one text. "I'm fine. I'm exactly where I need to be. Don't look for me." 5 minutes later, "You don't understand. You'll ruin us. The mortgage lawyer says you can take our house." There it was, the truth. She wasn't scared for me. She finally realized what losing me financially meant. I replied, "Now you understand what I was worth in your life. Too bad you realized it too late." That afternoon, I met a Swiss financial advisor, an older, very professional man named Philip Greer. He explained all my options for permanent residency. "With your savings and U.S. pension," he said, "you can live comfortably here for the rest of your life. Switzerland has excellent healthcare for retired foreigners and a very high quality of life." For the first time in years, I discussed my money without saving it for Claire's emergencies. It felt freeing to plan only around my needs and wants. "You can also invest part of your savings in the Swiss economy," Mr. Greer added. "Returns are stable. In 5 years, you could double your assets if you invest wisely." Double my assets. How many chances had I had to do that? I'd spent that money on my daughters once instead. He added, "We have many clients like you, older adults starting over after difficult family situations. You're not alone." That comforted me deeply. I wasn't the only mother who'd been used and cast aside. There were many who chose their own happiness over toxic demands. On Friday morning, I joined a seniors hiking group, 8 women and 4 men, ages 60 to 75, everyone chasing new experiences. On the bus, I chatted with a 71-year-old German woman named Diana, who moved to Switzerland 2 years ago. "What brought you here?" she asked, looking out at the view. "A daughter who said her biggest birthday wish was for me to die," I answered plainly. I was done sugarcoating. Diana's eyes widened. "Seriously? Completely? After financing her house, practically raising her kids, and sacrificing my retirement?" She said my presence was an unbearable burden. "My goodness," Diana murmured. "And what did you do?" "I disappeared from her life. And now I'm here." "You're brave," she smiled. "It took me 5 years to leave my toxic family. My son and daughter-in-law treated me like a walking ATM." The rest of the day, we shared stories. Diana moved after realizing her adult children only called for money. For trips, cars, and little luxuries. When she set boundaries, they called her selfish and threatened to keep the grandkids away. "The first months were hard," she admitted as we walked a medieval town. "Guilt ate me up. I wondered if a good mother must always sacrifice." "What changed your mind?" I asked. "I realized my kids never asked if I was happy, if I had enough for myself, or if constant giving was hurting me. They only cared about what I could give. That isn't love, Rosemary. That's exploitation." Her words hit me hard. For decades, I had mistaken manipulation for love and constant demands for true need. That night, I turned my phone on one last time for several days. 62 missed calls, 47 texts, mostly from Claire and Mark, plus some unknown numbers. I read the texts in order and watched my daughter's panic grow. At first, "Please, Mom, come back. We need you. The kids are crying." Then, "The bank wants a Friday meeting. As co-signer, you can reclaim the house. They can't take it over a misunderstanding." By day 5, "This is ridiculous, Mom. You're ruining our lives over a tantrum. Be an adult and come back." And finally, I called hospitals, police, your friends. "No one knows where you are. If something happens, it'll be my fault. Please just say you're okay. What stood out? Not once did she truly apologize for wishing me dead. No real remorse, just fear of the consequences of my absence. I sent one last text. I'm perfectly fine, and happier than I've been in years. What you're feeling now is the natural result of your actions. I hope this helps you value people you love before it's too late with others. Her reply came instantly. Please, Mom, we can fix this. I promise I'll never say such things again. Just come back. I wrote my final response. Empty promises don't heal a broken heart. Your words showed me what you truly think of me. You can't erase that truth with panic. After that, I blocked her, Mark, and all unknown numbers. Time to close the chapter. On Monday, I met with Philip Greer again to sign residency papers. I arranged to transfer my U.S. pension and start selling my apartment back home. Are you sure you want this to be permanent? He asked. It's a big decision. I've never been more sure, I said, signing steadily. For the first time in decades, I'm choosing my happiness, not other people's demands. That afternoon, my neighbor and accomplice Margaret called, excited. Rosemary, you won't believe it. Claire came to me yesterday crying hard. She begged me to tell you to come back. She called it a misunderstanding. What did you say? I asked. I told her the truth, that what she said was unforgivable. And if I were you, I'd disappear too. You should have seen her face when she realized even the neighbors knew how cruel she was. Did she mention money? Oh yes. She said they can't pay the mortgage, the bank is pressuring them, Mark can't find steady work, and the kids need things for school they can't afford. She finally sees everything you did, now that it's gone. Exactly as I expected. She didn't miss me. She missed my money and my problem solving. Margaret, I said, if anyone asks, especially Claire, tell them I'm dead to them. Because in a way, it's true. The Rosemary who kept sacrificing herself for an ungrateful daughter died on her birthday. I understand, Elva said softly. And honestly, it's the best death you could choose. 3 weeks after arriving in Switzerland, my new life took shape in ways I never imagined. I enrolled in German classes 3 times a week, started watercolor on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and joined an expat book club on Sundays. For the first time in decades, my calendar was full of things I chose, things that brought me joy and growth. The money was the biggest surprise. Without Claire's constant needs, my savings not only stayed steady, they grew. The investments I made with Philip Greer were already up, and I could plan my future around my needs alone. One Thursday morning, while I ate breakfast at my favorite lakeside cafe, an international number called. I hesitated, then answered. Mrs. Rosemary Hartman? A woman with an American accent asked. Yes. Who's this? Lauren Price, social worker with family services in your hometown. We received a complaint about your well-being. My blood ran cold. A complaint? About what? Your daughter, Claire Hartman, claims you may have dementia or cognitive decline and are making unsafe financial and life choices. She says you disappeared and are living in poor conditions abroad. I couldn't believe it. Claire had dragged in social services and made up an illness to invalidate my choices and force me back. Ms. Price, I said firmly, I do not have dementia or cognitive decline. I'm living in Switzerland by choice in a comfortable apartment with excellent medical care and in perfect mental health. Her claims are false. I understand, she said, but we need to verify. Could we arrange medical and psychological evaluations through the U.S. consulate? Of course, I said. I'm happy to do anything that proves I'm of sound mind and acting freely. After we set it up, I hung up, furious and stunned. Claire had crossed a line. Wishing me dead wasn't enough. Now she wanted to destroy my credibility to regain control. I called my lawyer, Harold, back home. Rosemary, he answered, concerned. I've had quite a week with your daughter. I just heard from social services, I said. She claims I have dementia. That's not all, Harold sighed. She hired a lawyer to challenge the legal changes you made. She's claiming you weren't in your right mind. Can she do that? She can try, but it's weak. I have recordings of our meetings. Your clarity is obvious. Plus, you planned your move and live independently in Switzerland. That contradicts any claim of cognitive decline. What else? She tried to access your bank accounts out of concern and to stop the house reclaim process. But everything's legal, and she signed documents acknowledging Mark lost his job again. She has no real case. It was shocking how far she'd go to get back the benefits. Harold, prepare a defamation suit. Her false claims about my mental state could hurt my reputation and rights. With pleasure, he said. After how she treated you, it's time she faced consequences. 2 days later, I went to the U.S. consulate in Zurich for the evaluations. The American doctor, a seasoned older man, understood immediately. Mrs. Hartman, he said after a thorough 3-hour assessment, you're in perfect mental health, and your choices show admirable clarity and courage. Your daughter is trying to manipulate the system to regain financial benefits. Will that be in your report? Absolutely. I'll send a detailed report to social services saying her claims are baseless, and you're living independently and well. That afternoon, the social worker called. Mrs. Hartman, we received the consulate's report. Your daughter's claims are unfounded. We're closing the case and will notify her. Thank you, I said. Will this be recorded? Yes. It will show she filed a false welfare complaint, which could have legal consequences if repeated. Perfect. She had failed, and now there was an official record. That night, I did something I'd been avoiding. I wrote an open letter, not for Claire, but for mothers like me, women living with manipulation and emotional abuse from adult children. I wrote for 4 hours, detailing every sacrifice, every manipulation, and every step I took to reclaim my dignity. It was 20 pages, titled, When a Mother's Love Becomes Self-Destruction, My Liberation at 72. I sent it to an online blog for older women who had transformed their lives. A week later, the editor replied with excitement. Rosemary, your story is powerful and inspiring. We've received hundreds of comments from women who relate. Would you do a video interview for our YouTube channel? I said yes. It was time to use my experience to help others. 2 weeks later, the interview went live and quickly went viral. Thousands of women shared similar stories of emotional manipulation and financial exploitation by adult children. The comments were full of pain and recognition. My 40-year-old son lives at home, doesn't pay rent, and yells when I ask him to job hunt. My daughter only calls for vacation money and never visits when I'm sick. I thought I was the only mother who felt used. Then a week later, I got an email I recognized immediately, from Mark, my former son-in-law. Rosemary, he wrote. I saw your interview. I agree with you completely. What Claire said was unforgivable, and how she treated you for years was wrong. I saw how she used you, but I never stood up to her because we depended on your help. The kids miss you, and they don't understand. She tells them you're sick, but they deserve the truth when they're older. I know it's late for apologies, but at least one person in this family admits how badly we treated you and how much you sacrificed. I hope you're happy now. I read it 3 times before answering. Mark, thank you for your honesty. Apologies after the fact don't undo the damage. I hope you become a better husband and father, and teach your children to value those who love them before it's too late. It was the first time anyone in the family publicly acknowledged the abuse. It didn't change my decision to stay away, but it gave me the validation I'd been needing. My new life in Switzerland kept blooming. I had real friends who valued me, not my wallet. I had hobbies and peace of mind. I had financial stability. Most of all, I had my dignity. 6 months after I arrived, a perfect spring morning brought a call that changed things again. It was Maggie, my dear neighbor and accomplice. Rosemary, she said, excited. You have to hear this. Claire lost the house. My heart paused. Even after everything, I still worried about my grandchildren. What happened? The bank foreclosed last week. Mark couldn't keep steady work, they fell behind, and since you're co-signer and exercising your rights, the bank proceeded. Claire came here yesterday sobbing. And the kids? They're okay. They moved to a small apartment across town. Mark finally got a factory job, less pay but steady. Claire had to go back to work too. My feelings were mixed. I didn't feel joy in their hardship, but I felt a deep sense of justice. For the first time, they were facing the true results of their choices without a rescue. There's more, Maggie added. Claire asked how to reach you. She says she wants to truly apologize and that she finally understands what she lost when she lost you. And what did you say? I told her some wounds cut too deep, and some words can't be taken back. I also said you're thriving now, and it's probably best she doesn't try to contact you. She was right. In these 6 months, I'd built a calm I didn't want to risk for empty promises from a daughter who only valued me when she needed me. That afternoon, my lawyer, Harold, called with unexpected news. Rosemary, I have something interesting, he said. The bank finally sold Claire's house. Since you were the co-signer, you're entitled to get your original $150,000 back, plus interest. How much in total? $185,000. The bank has approved the transfer. It'll be in your Swiss account next week. I could hardly believe it. I didn't just recover my investment. I gained an extra $5,000. That money would have been gone forever if I'd kept being the endlessly sacrificing mother. There's more, Harold continued. Your apartment back home has sold too. After fees and costs, the net is $95,000. Almost $300,000 back in assets I had already written off. With my current savings and the investments I'd made in Switzerland, my total net worth passed $500,000. At 72, I was richer than I'd ever been. That night, I celebrated at my favorite lakeside restaurant. I ordered French champagne and toasted the brave woman who chose to start over when everything seemed lost. Over dinner, I thought about the journey. I began as a broken, humiliated mother, crushed by my ungrateful daughter's cruel words. Now I was independent, financially stable, surrounded by real friends, and finally living the life I'd dreamed of. The next day, I did something I'd been considering for weeks. I decided to write a full book about my experience. Not just my story, but a practical guide for older women trapped in toxic family dynamics. I contacted a Swiss publisher known for self-help and personal growth. The editor, a woman named Amelia, was immediately interested. Rosemary, she told me at our meeting, your story touches a problem millions of women face but rarely discuss openly. Emotional abuse by adult children is widespread, and it needs the light. I spent the next 3 months writing When Love Hurts, freeing yourself from family emotional abuse after 70. I included my story and practical strategies, recognizing manipulation, setting healthy boundaries, and finding the courage to put your own well-being first. 8 months later, the book was published and became a bestseller in several European countries. The letters I received were incredible. Women from around the world wrote to say my story gave them courage to make radical changes. I read your book and finally understood I'm not a bad mother for refusing to keep financing my 35-year-old son's irresponsibility, wrote Helen from Spain. Your story helped me see that real love doesn't require self-destruction, Denise from Mexico said. After reading your book, I sold my big house and moved into a small place I can afford without my children's help. For the first time in years, I sleep in peace, Patricia from Argentina shared. But the letter that moved me most came a year after publication, from a young mother named Emily. Mrs. Hartman, she wrote, I'm 30. My mother is 65 and has sacrificed her whole life for us. After reading your book, I realized we were treating her exactly like Claire treated you. Your story opened my eyes. I called my mom yesterday to apologize for years of taking her for granted, and told her I want to help her pursue her own dreams, not just expect her to support mine. Thank you for helping me understand before it was too late. That letter made me cry with joy. My pain had helped prevent other families from breaking the same way. 2 years after I moved to Switzerland, I found a physical letter in my mailbox. The handwriting was familiar, but I couldn't place it. When I opened it, my heart stopped. It was from my grandchildren, now 12. Dear Grandma Rosemary, they wrote in childlike handwriting. Dad told us the truth about why you left. He said Mom said very hurtful things, and that's why you started a new life far from us. We want you to know we miss you, and we understand. We're proud of you for being brave. When we're older, we'd love to visit you in Switzerland. if you want us to. We love you, Grandma." Both twins had signed it and included drawings of me smiling in the Swiss mountains. I cried for an hour, not from sadness, but from the deep certainty that choosing my dignity had been right, even though it meant stepping away from people I love. I wrote back, "My dearest grandchildren, your words are the most beautiful gift I've received in years. I love you deeply and always will, no matter the distance. When you're older and can make your own choices, my heart and my home will always be open to you. Until then, know that your grandma is living a full, happy life surrounded by beauty and peace. Keep this love in your hearts, and learn from this. Words can build or destroy. Relationships must be based on mutual respect, not one-sided sacrifice. I love you with all my heart." Today, 3 years after that terrible birthday changed everything, I'm sitting on my balcony in Zurich, looking at the mountains as I write the last lines of my story. I'm 75 with more than $600,000 in assets, a best-selling book, dear friends around the world, and an inner peace I never thought I'd feel again. Claire asked me as a birthday gift to disappear from her life. I granted that wish in the most spectacular way. What she never expected was that by losing me, she didn't just lose a mother who loved her unconditionally. She also lost the person who quietly kept her financial world stable for decades. My disappearance was my gift to her. My new life was my gift to me, and it was worth every tear, every sacrifice, and every moment of pain that led me here. Because sometimes, the only way to save yourself is to be brave enough to lose your old self completely, so you can be reborn as the person you were always meant to be. Do you like my story? And which city are you listening from? Tell me in the comments. Thank you so much for your support. I'm looking forward to your comments. On the screen, you'll see 2 more life stories I highly recommend. There's so much more on my channel. Don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next life story, with love and respect.